Hello everyone, this is a look at my draft for the start of the new season. It is with an early wildcard in mind, with a lot of big players going to be missing out at the first couple of game weeks due to the World Cup. So I will be using a wildcard probably in game week 2. So this draft is purely based on players that will start the season, have good fixtures and hopefully will do well. In goals, I got Foster and Fabianski. Their fixtures rotate well, they're both decent goalkeepers and I think they'll both start. In defence, I've got Cedric. I think under Mark Hughes, with a pre-season in front of him as well, I think they'll keep a lot more clean sheets than last season. And Cedric's also dangerous going forward, so I think at 4.5 million, he's a good buy. Next, I've got Coleman at 5.5. I was looking at Baines because he's on penalties, but I just edged towards Coleman for the sheer fact that Baines is aging a bit, and I think Coleman's due a good season as long as he can stay injury-free. Next, I got Robinson at 6 million. It seems a bit hard to put him in at that price when he was so cheap last season, but I think he's worth his money. I think he's nailed on at left back. I don't really rate Moreno. I don't think Klopp does either, so I think he's nailed on and hopefully get some attacking returns off him. Next, I've got Tauskovsky. I think that's how you say his name. I had him in last season. He returned me some nice points. Burnley's clean sheets were coming through thick and fast. Hopefully it can be the same this season. I was doubling up on him last season. I'm not that confident to do it this season, but I thought I had to have one in, especially with the start they got. They've got some decent fixtures to start off with. In midfield, I've gone with Sane. I think he is a bit of a rotation risk going into the season. Later on in the season, but I think at the start, I think he's nailed on. They've got Arsenal to start off with, but the fixtures get really good after that, and I think he can still score big against Arsenal. Next, I've got Salah. The obvious choice. He smashed it last season. I think he'll do really well this season as well. He's a bit steep at 13 million, but if you don't have him in and he does well, with his high ownership, you'll be chasing the overall rank for the rest of the season, trying to catch up again. I think most people will captain him as well. I think I will for game week 1. So I think he's a must-have, because like I say, if he does well and you don't have him, you're going to be playing catch-up. Next, I got Mkhitaryan. 7 million. I've got him in purely on value. His fixtures aren't the best, Man City and Chelsea, but I think he's still got a chance to score points, and at 7 million you can't really go wrong. Next, I got Eriksen. I do normally go with Harry Kane when I go attacking with Spurs, but with Harry Kane being in the World Cup and won't start the first game, I think Eriksen's the next best bet. I know he was at the World Cup, but he came back a lot earlier and I think he will start. He's on set pieces, so fingers crossed he can do well. Next, I've got Toussaint up front for Everton. They've got nice fixtures to start off with. I'm almost sure he'll start off up front unless they make a marquee striker signing, which I can't see him doing. I think they're after a winger, so I think he will start. He did well at the end of last season. Everton have got good fixtures, so I'm taking a punt on Toussaint. Next, I've got Aguero. They start off with Arsenal, but the fixtures get a lot better. I still think Aguero could score big against Arsenal, but like I say, after that the fixtures get really good and hopefully he'll do well. Jesus played all the games for Brazil, so I don't think he will start the start of the season. I think it'll be Aguero, so fingers crossed he can do well. On my bench, I've got Bedenek for Southampton. He's only really there to come on if one of my first team don't play. He played towards the end of the season every game last season, so hopefully he can start again and get some good points if I need him. Next, I got Dale Stephens. He's not really got an attacking threat to him, but he plays every game. He's 4.5. He's a good player to have on your bench in emergencies, and he has to come in. He should come in for a couple of points at least. My last substitute, I think he's a bit of a risk, because I think Mitrovic is going to sign permanently for Fulham. Then I think he won't start, but at the minute I think he does start. So if they do sign Mitrovic, I might have to think about going elsewhere with a 4.5 million striker, maybe Quaynor for Brighton, someone who might get a few more minutes. But at the minute, I've gone with Camara. If I hear any news of Mitrovic, then I might have to swap him over. But at the minute, this is the draft I'm going with. There might be a few slight changes. I am going to do a draft closer to the season with my actual team that's set in stone. But for now, I'm feeling pretty confident that my team's good enough to go into the start of the season. I have started a mini league. I will put the code in the description. And yeah, Thanks for watching. Please subscribe so you don't miss the up and coming videos, and I'll see you next time, people.